Hello traders, welcome to the fourth module of the Advanced Technical Analysis course, Chart Analysis. And on this lesson we're going to teach you how to use support and resistance levels for entries and for excellent risk to reward setups. And of course when we are looking at support and resistance entries, we are looking to get in high probability trades. And this is what we will teach you on this lesson. But first of all, let's start with going through what support and resistance are. Remember that support and resistance are areas where we will find an opposite pressure of the current trend. This means that if we are in an uptrend, for example, and we hit a very big area of resistance, we will find bearish pressure that will want to take price down. And in the opposite case, if we are in a downtrend and we hit a massive area of support, we will find enormous bullish pressure that will want to take price up, and this is where we're going to try to profit from. These areas are good places to take profit if you're already in. Okay, this is because you don't know if these areas are going to be rejected or if price is going to break through them. So if you are already in a trade, it's a good time to take at least partial profit at these areas, to see if you get a pullback and then a breakthrough. But if you don't, you might want to leave some money on the table, and that's something you don't want to do. But if you are not on a trade already, these areas are a good place to look for good entries, and this is what we are going to teach you on this lesson. So let's see what we look for when price hits these areas. First of all, we look for rejections. Trend exhaustion at big support zones are great opportunities to counter trend trade. And of course, trend exhaustion at big resistance areas are also great opportunities to counter trend trade. But we need confirmation that the zone has been rejected. Not only because we already know that this zone is a big zone of support or resistance and price hits it, is going to reject it, and we are going to have a great opportunity to counter trend trade. We need a confirmation that this area in fact has been rejected. So in order to get confirmation that these zones have been in fact rejected, we are going to use candlestick formations and chart patterns for reversals. Okay, now the second thing we're going to look for are breakouts. Breakouts of big support or resistance areas are great opportunities to profit from momentum. Okay, remember that when price breaks through a big level, you will have momentum and that directionality, and you will actually have a great opportunity to profit from it. But we must be careful not to get trapped in a fake out or a fake breakout, and this happens more often than we want. For instance, if price is in a big downtrend and we hit a massive area of support, price might get through those levels only to see it come back and reject the levels and reverse to the other side. So what we need to do is also we need confirmation that in fact the pressure of these zones has been cleared and price will continue with the overall direction. Okay, and there's two ways to trade breakouts: aggressive entries and conservative entries. Well, let's start with rejections, okay, which are easier to trade than breakouts. As you can see here, we are in a clear uptrend, okay? Then price hits an area of resistance right here, and we have a rejection candle, which is this doji, and then a continuation to the downside. So we have a rejection of the entire area of resistance right here. And as you can see here, price continues to the opposite side, and this rejection gave us a great risk to reward ratio on a short trade of this asset. Now, how do we trade this? We got a rejection candle at resistance, which is this red doji right here. Then the next candle is a red candle that completes a reversal pattern, and this reversal pattern is called an evening star. The short entry is after the completion of the pattern at resistance. So we are in an uptrend, and then we have an evening star pattern, which is a reversal pattern right at resistance. When this pattern completes, or to be more accurate, when this candle closes, it completes the pattern. So here, when this candle closes, we have a short entry, and the stop loss should go above the high of the pattern. And as you can see here, our risk is a few pips versus the reward, which is, in this case, at least 1 to 2.5 risk to reward ratio. Now, this is how you trade rejections at resistance and, of course, at support. You need to go through all your um, chart patterns and candlestick formations so you can actually know what you are looking at and what you are looking for at these zones. Now let's go to breakouts. This is how we trade an aggressive entry on a breakout. Here we are in a down move, and we hit a support zone that got quickly rejected. And I mean, when you are in an uptrend and or in a downtrend and you hit a very big area, you will want to see some kind of a reaction because you will find opposite pressure there. But as you can see here on this example, the bullish pressure pushed price up just a few pips before it broke through the support zone. And here we have the breakout. Now, how do we trade an aggressive entry? Price traded down to a support zone, as we already told you. Some reaction was expected, but it broke rapidly with the zone. The short entry is after the candle that broke support closes, okay? And this candle must be big enough to take out the lows that were made at the area of support. We need to take out the previous lows, and this candle must be strong enough to actually mean that we have broken through, and this is not a fake out. And the stop loss should go above the last high, or if you want to trade with less of a risk, you should put your stops above the last candle's high. And this is how you trade aggressive entries, but you have to time them correctly, because if you are not quick enough and you take your short entry right here, for example, the risk to reward behind the trade is no longer good enough for you to actually take the trade. So you need to take the trade right when the support or the resistance zone clears or breaks. Now, this is the conservative way to trade breakouts. As you can see here, we are in an up move and we have hit an area of resistance that was broken. Okay, now the aggressive way to trade this breakout would be to go long after the close of this candle, and it's fine to go long after the close of this candle. But more often that you will want, or more often that you will know, price will break through a resistance zone and test it back as support, as well of breaking out of a support zone just to come back and test it as resistance. Now, the conservative entry is to wait for price to test back this resistance area as support, like in this case, and then go long after we get confirmation that support has held. Now, how do we trade this? When the breakout happens, we wait for the retest of the area. In this case, the retest of resistance area as support. When price comes back and retests the zone, we are looking for a rejection and a continuation, just like in this case. The long entry is after the bullish engulfing candle at the test of support. And this is where chart patterns and candlestick formations come very handy, because when we are looking for confirmation, we are looking for actual price to give us the confirmation that this area of support held. In this case, we have a bullish engulfing candle right as support. This gives us a long entry with our stop losses below support or below these engulfing candles. Now, this is how you trade at support and resistance, and this is what you need to be looking for in order for you to get great risk to reward entries and setups. Now, if you miss the trade, don't go chasing it, because if you chase the trade, the risk to reward would not be the same, and actually it would not be profitable in the long run for you to be taking those trades. So you need to be very careful and very patient, and of course you need to be very disciplined in order to take these setups.